my pond got refilled back up. I'll go down here and take a look at this bridge here. So many times I went and ended up in the rain, but I still loved it. Oh my word, look at that. Something's gonna happen today. You're probably wondering if I greased the hub motor. We'll talk about that here shortly. All right, well, this is what the bike looks like. And you can see I'm still hauling around my little air compressor. This rear tire, I don't know if you can see it right there, has a hole in it. And I got flat out in it. And I'll have went 4,000 miles with that hole in it. So if you want to have a flat-proof tire as much as you can, I'll leave a link for the flat out I use down below. I think you'll really give you the peace of mind knowing that when you're out. You know, when you're back on a trail or something, you know, the last thing you want to happen is have a flat. So hopefully we won't have no problems today because I'm kind of pushing the limit here. Trying to get as many miles as I can with this. But yeah. But this is what the bike looks like. And yeah. Hello everybody, Papa Blue Shirt. We are going to go on our historic 15,000 mile ride. That was my goal for the year, and looks like I made it in about just a little over 6 months. So didn't look too promising there when my back was hurting so bad, but once I got over that, I really went to town. Been riding over 100 miles a day and for months on end. So in 100-degree heat and everything. So I'm kind of crazy. But anyways, this is historic. It's 15,000 miles. I still can hardly believe it. So that means I have 2 Philodos with 15,000 miles almost. And so I put 30,000 miles on 2 Philodos. So if you're looking for a bike that holds up, you know, these have done very well for me. Well, let's get going here. Well, my pond got refilled back up with all the rain we had. Actually, our house got flooded. So it's kind of a hectic there for a while. But we pretty much got things back in order here after the hurricane. So, yeah. You know, part of my house got flooded. Well, I'm just happy that I have a house. You know, there's those who got it a lot worse than I did, so I feel fortunate. And I feel bad for those who lost their house and all their belongings and those who lost their lives. But today we're going on a historic ride, so I'm going to try to keep it as positive as possible and not think about what happened last week. This pond here is almost all the way full too again. It was getting down really low. Now we're getting back. Oh, look at that. A turtle out there on a log. Yeah, that turtle there. Where'd he go? I can't find him. There he is. Sitting on that log out there in the middle of the water. Just floating around, basking in the sun. Got his little yacht going on there. That's pretty neat. He's watching me though. Oh, look at it. Beautiful. It's been really cold in the morning. I wore my thick denim coat this morning. It was in the 40s. But it gets in the 80s in the afternoon, so doing fine. Ciao, buddy. You want to run with me, don't you? Just waiting for me to run with him. Did you see how he turned around to see where I was just so he could run? We got this thing, you know, where it's a race and always there. Oh, I said I'd talk about my hub motor. And, you know, there's a couple of thoughts there. I've heard that you should re-grease them at 1,000 miles and every 1,000 miles after, and that's just, no, ain't no way I'm doing that. I I put over 14,000 miles on my H8 before I even opened it up. I did have a few teeth that were missing, but I don't think it was because of the lube or the grease. A lot of times, people, their rear motor starts to make a noise and they think it's the gears, and I'm not sure it's the gears ever, because the gears are nylon. It'd be really hard for them to get noisy. I think what people hear is that bearing that's in between the gears. The clutch has a bearing on it, and I think if that dries out, you would hear that noise. But over at Grin Technologies, he said he's not convinced that they even need to be lubricated at all because they're nylon and they're very high resistant to wear. So I'm probably going to go until I change my rear tire. Once I change my rear tire, I might open it up and just see what it looks like in there. But other than that, I'm going to leave things alone, I think. Mine makes a noise, but it's a harmonic resonance with the battery thing I have back there. Because if I touch it, all the noise goes away. So far, everything is going good. Now we'll go down here for a while because it's kind of windy out and I want this audio to be good enough to use. So I've been riding on that tire. I think it was a piece of a radial tire, the wire, when I had my flat. And that's been over 4,000 miles ago. So, and all I did when I changed the tube, I changed it to the one that had a little bit of flat out in it, and it was actually the one I took out of my H8. I had too much in it, so I took half of the flat out, and it does get wet, back there where the hole is, but so far it's held air. So I wanted to see how far I could go with these Ultraverse. I have 13,000 miles on those Ultraverse. Either 13 or 12, I'll have to look it up. I've learned how important it is to get your seat set up right. When I first got this bike, I had my seat set too low because I was worried about my back, and it kind of caused all my problems. So, because my seat was too low. I'd like to thank Brent, the chiropractor, because in one of his videos he was talking about it and it solved my problem. So, took away months of very bad pain. I had like 4,000 miles that I was just in intense pain, and so that fixed all that. What else did I learn? That cars don't often do what you think they're going to do. I learned that most people will look out for you if they can, and I learned if it looks like rain, it's probably gonna. So many times I went and ended up in the rain, but I still loved it.
Shining in the sun, pop a blue shirt, pedals through the pain. With his beard so wide and long, he's been pushing hard and strong. 15,000 miles, he's on fire. Pop a blue shirt, never tires. With every pedal, every stride, he's a legend on this ride. Blue shirt, shining in the sun, pop a blue shirt, pedals through the pain. With his beard so wide and long, he's been pushing on this ride. Blue shirt, shining in the sun, Papa's journey has just begun. No mountain too high, no road too long. With his Philodo, he rolls on strong.
we're gonna keep riding this thing here. I'm probably gonna start splitting up my ride and ride the H8 in the afternoons, and because I want to get the H8 to 15,000 miles too. So it's real close, 700 miles I think. So maybe by the end of the month I could have it there. Yep. So it's really been fun. I learned that I can ride in really cold weather and really hot weather. I rode in some weather, it was 115 degrees. And you don't want to make an error of judgment when it's that hot. So I tried to be real careful, but yeah, I went against my wife's wishes, because on those days she said you need to stay home. But Papa didn't want to stay home, he wanted to go ride. So I get in a routine, and boy, I like to stay in it. That's how I ended up riding 2 times a day. Usually ride in the afternoon, and when it got hot, we decided that I should be riding in the morning, but instead of stopping the afternoon, I just kept doing the afternoon too. So that's how you do 100 miles a day. There was a few days I did the whole thing, but I figured out I can ride 130, 140 if I split it up. So that's what I did. So I know I averaged over about 110, 115 miles every day, even with the rain days and everything. So yeah, not trying to compete with anybody, just compete with myself. That's it. People have to ride what they know how to ride and how much their level is. If 100 miles in a month is really good for you, then congrats. I'll go down here and take a look at this bridge here. Had a car coming up behind me, so it's a good time to go down here. Take a look at our bridge to nowhere. $1.6 million on a bridge that gets maybe 2 or 3 crossings a week. Yep, it doesn't hardly seem right, but I guess if I was the guy on the end of this road, I would think, yeah, I need it. But they did put some gravel here for me, so that's nice. I was complaining last time because they made those big humps there, but they put some gravel here for me. That's neat. Yeah, it just kind of ends right here. It goes back to a farmer's house. I don't want to go back there because it says no trespassing. But yeah, I originally found this because I was looking for a place to ride, and it looked like it'd go off back there. And but I got back here and it didn't go nowhere. But yeah, it's the railroad tracks. $15,000 miles, I made it. It's too bad I didn't get it on camera. I was going through this real crowded area, and I was paying attention to the traffic and stuff, and I forgot that I was almost to 15,000 miles. But, oh well, we'll get it at 16 maybe. Yeah, I had a road that was blocked for 2 or 3 months, and it was blocked because of a culvert, and so I naturally thought they was going to replace the culvert. Went by it the other day, and all they did was patch it up. It's like, you blocked that off for that long? So I thought, man, you could have done that in a weekend. They had it blocked. They even brought in a bunch of gravel and stuff and piled it in the road so people couldn't go around it. So I naturally thought they was going to replace the whole thing. It looked like the culvert was there since 1937 or something like that, so it's really old. But they made them better back then, I guess. They seemed to last longer. It wasn't really the culvert that washed out, it was around the culvert. So yeah, I I guess that's probably why they didn't replace it. I guess it must have been okay, but man, it took them forever. So we now have more miles on this than the H8. New top dog. Yeah, with all the stuff available now, as far as e-bikes and all the equipment, boy, it's a good time to be alive. You know, 30 years ago, you'd have to have an old smelly motor and wouldn't go very good. And now I can just have the time of my life out here. So it's a good time to be alive. That's all I got to say. Let's see if we can get a new high here. Ah, the wind's blowing too hard. Yeah, the wind's really hard blowing back at me, so no new high. My high is 43 miles an hour. Looks like they got that campground pretty much done back there. I know that floods because it's right next to a creek. But they built it up on stilts, so hopefully it won't get that high. Ah, yeah. Well, it's pretty intense, you know. I ride in the morning about 75 miles. In the afternoon, probably between 50 and 60. And have a shower in between. So daily, you know, 2 showers a day and getting dressed and going out. And if I could just ride, you know. But it's pretty hard to ride 100 and some miles. Kind of hard on the butt. But I may do that. Once I start riding the H8, I'll just come back with this one, then just hop on the H8 and go do my ride. And then I'd be done for the day. Cause I'm pretty busy, you know. I'm retired, but I think I work harder now than I did when I was working, and that's saying something. I pretty much work every hour of the day that I'm awake. In the evening before my wife goes to sleep, we watch a half-hour TV program. And what we do, we watch the really old shows. The one we're watching now is Father Knows Best with Robert Young and all that. Robert Young. But anyways, that's what we've been watching. I like those old shows that I don't have to worry about a bunch of junk coming up on. You know, they're safe to watch. But I always told my kids, if I can't sit there and watch the show with you, I don't want to watch it. So that's kind of how we based things when we were growing up, and it's been something that I've stuck to. I know a lot of people say that's old-fashioned, but you know, I think we need to get back to those old-fashioned ideas. And I know a lot of you probably don't even know who that is. The Father Knows Best. I was really surprised that some people didn't know who Waltons were. But it all depends on what era you were born in and what era you grew up in and what era that you lived through. So it all depends. But I like those old shows. Yeah, it's even in black and white. Yeah, I try to record my ride in the afternoon because now I don't have to have my pogies on here. It's a little bit more dangerous to be riding one-handed with your pogies, because sometimes your hand don't go right back where you think it should, especially when you got a phone in your hand. So, yeah. Well, they harvested all this corn here. This corn was all the way up to the road here before. But it's been all harvested. Actually, it's a beautiful day right now, other than the wind. It's just a bit windy, but it's probably 84 or something like that. Really nice out here. So eventually I'll go to riding just once a day. Wow, what's going on here? I don't know why people always have to mow their lawn. I mean, they're out there. It might be little half an inch or a quarter inch higher than what they like, and they're out there mowing that lawn. I think it's crazy. Yeah, don't get me started. I'm on pace to mow my lawn, I think 5 times this year. That's less than once a month, and it suits me fine. I mean, when I mow the lawn, I want to see what I mowed. And tell the difference that you're actually mowing it. Well, this corn really got beat up from our storm. But yeah, I want to be able to tell that I mowed, you know what I mean? Be able to tell the difference so you can see where you're mowing. A lot of these people, they mow, and I can't even tell the difference from where they're mowing and where they haven't mowed. Sure make my bike riding a lot more pleasant. But maybe that's their high point in their life, I don't know. Maybe they should go volunteer and mow everyone else's lawn. I kind of changed my thinking on lawn mowing when my back was so bad I couldn't do it and I couldn't afford to pay nobody. So I said, I'm just gonna let it grow. And you know, our lawn looks much more healthier now than it ever has. All right, I'm done. Well, these cows here had a cameo in my yodeling video, and a couple of dogs up here had a cameo in it too. Let's see if they're out here today. See if they want to make another cameo appearance. There they are. There he is. Hey, girl. Yep. They just like to run with me. They hear me coming the other way. When I come this way, they see me coming, but usually I'm listening to some music, so they hear me coming the other way too. Well, I've seen a lot of things in the last 6 months. Lots of possums, turkey vultures, seen some bald eagles, a ton of deer. I've seen one up really close. Almost got it. Ended up breaking my screen on my screen protector on my phone because I was recording at the time, and looked up and I thought what I saw was a dog coming up, but he closed the gap really fast, and when it come into focus I realized it was a deer, and I had to hard slam on my brakes to keep from hitting it. Went just by my front tire, but in the process I broke my screen protector. But I guess that's what they're there for, I guess. So we've seen a lot in the last 6 months. Right here's where we buy a lot of our tomatoes and peppers. And right here's a blind corner. I've almost been hit here several times. Cars come flying around here, taking the whole road. So I try to really watch it now. Oh yeah, this is nice. Oh, there went a black cat, it looked like. Really nice day to ride. Oh, I can't believe how much this bridge goes up and down. Just riding down below it, this whole thing shakes up and down. Well, we got a train for you there. I seen them off in the distance. I thought, oh, I'll stop and get that. It's about 20 degrees cooler in here, in this tree tunnel here. Really nice area. Well, there's where we ended up, 15,070. Yeah. All right, well, there's our ride. Thanks for riding with me today. And how far am I gonna go with this thing? So far, things have been really nice. Haven't had no problems. I did have a little bit of a tinging for a while there on the rear motor. It lasted for about 2,000 miles and that was it, it went away. Haven't had no problems with that since. I haven't greased any of the motors, and so I'm holding off on that. I'm gonna have to change my rear wheel heel probably within the next 1,000 miles. So it looks like those Ultraverse will last about 13 or 14,000 miles on the rear. On the front, it'll probably last for 20,000 because the front doesn't wear out as fast. But yeah, so yeah, it's been nice. I haven't had no problems, like I said, and wow, 15,000 miles, I can't hardly believe it. I made it, and it's still warm out. That was my motivation for riding so hard. I didn't want to have to ride miles in the cold, you know. If it gets too cold and I don't feel like doing it, I won't. But, you know, Papa, I'll probably do it anyway. But like I said, you know, I might have these miles so high that I'll never be able to pass them. But yeah. Thanks for riding with me today. Goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you.
Goodbye, good luck, and may the good Lord take a liking to you, liking to you, liking to you, liking to you, liking to you.